Hey, welcome back to the show. Really excited with this one. I have a great episode for you guys today. I had a chance to sit down with local comedian Janelle Niles. She is the producer of Comedy at Eddie's and Got Land, a fully Indigenous comedy show here in Ottawa. So yeah, let's go. All right, we are live.
Yes.
Live for the second episode of Happy Hour with Sad Comedians. I'm joined today by Janelle Niles. How's it going?
It's going good. I'm just happy to have something black and phallic in front of my face. It's been so long.
Me too. Oh God.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. We're here at Summer Haze on Baseline Road. We're always trying to get some sponsors for this show, so you know.
Sponsor us, please.
Please, come on. I wanted to do this at Eddie's just because of, you know, symbolically it would have been a cool place to do it, but you
that's
know.
where I produce my show.
Yeah. I miss Tuesdays at Eddie's.
Yeah, I think everybody does.
I know,
especially like when we do come back, it almost will be like a weekly thing, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah?
We'll see. Like 1 week will be Tuesdays, the other week will be Fridays kind of thing.
All right.
Yeah, hopefully.
We're going to hold you to that.
Yeah, but please
You heard it here
to
first. Got a scoop.
Comedy at Eddie's every Tuesday and every other Friday. Coming 2021.
Oh, God.
No, I have heard some news that maybe in a month.
In a month, you think?
But
Wow.
it's going to be like a 20-person audience. Like
So Comedy at Swizzles, like 4 times.
a 2-person audience.
Hey,
No,
shout out to Swizzles. We love it.
Swizzles.
We love it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's where I did my first comedy at Swizzles, like my first
Your
stand-up.
first set ever?
Yeah.
At Swizzles?
First, yeah.
Wow. How did it go?
It went great.
Yeah?
I did get told not to do a certain joke after I got off stage. Like, it's a little bit of an indie crowd. Those jokes don't fly. I was really testing waters. I've always wanted to be a comedian.
Yeah,
and I've
same.
heard a lot of the uproar by very famous comedians saying that you can't say this, you can't say that. And then I had this one joke where I'm like, I'm going to see if I can, say, and then, of course, I got it slashed, but I haven't said it since.
Sometimes you just got to get it out of your system, you know?
Yeah.
It's one of those things that, like one of the first jokes I ever did is one joke that I can never do again on stage. And it was just like, okay, I got it out of my system now, and I can move on to more
stuff. It took me a good year to get over being told not to do a joke. You know what I mean? Like, because I was angry at that guy for a long time.
Has it happened often for you?
No, just that one.
Okay.
Just that one on my first time. So it kind of soured it.
Well, it sticks with you, right?
Yeah,
it's your first time, you're nervous, and you're all
you
like
get told to not do, and then everything starts to get justified that these people, these naysayers to the way comedy is today, like it should be the way back. Like it got cemented in my head. Oh, they're right, But it was the tone. It was like, know your audience. I'm learning that like every single day.
I mean, it took me a long time to learn how to get the trust of the audience before you can even, like, just the order of jokes sometimes. Like, and I can do certain jokes I can't open with, but I can do later on my set once I've gotten the audience a little bit on my board. Because if they turn on you right at the beginning, like, that's it, you're done.
Try to get them back in 6 minutes?
No, that's I bomb like long 6 minutes. Fuck.
I've been working on the get them to laugh the first like couple like 10, 30, 20 seconds when you're up there.
Yeah.
Like get them your attention, or just I have this new opener. It's like, I wanted to look good for you guys. I went to the hairdresser. I asked for Kim Kardashian, but they gave me this Steven Seagal. And usually my hair is tied up and it's like slick, and I do have this Steven Seagal like V thing on the front. So usually that breaks the ice, and then I can like slowly,
You need smaller glasses. Do you need like a smaller?
I need smaller glasses.
The Steven Seagal
and
look.
they need to be tinted pink, and I need to identify as Asian and then Native American.
Yes.
And eat carrots.
And eat just carrots.
Eat carrots.
Yeah. Reason. Oh my God.
I love that guy.
Steven Seagal.
He's so crazy.
I know.
It's amazing.
Right. So how you been through all this? How you been holding up?
I've been,
You've been?
just
you're
like
working,
everybody else.
you're trying to...
I'm working full time. I'm a frontline worker.
Good for you. We thank you for your services.
Yeah, I'm the frontline worker nobody likes. I'm a security guard. I'm a professional bootlicker. I shine those shoes.
Nice.
Yes.
Hey, we need you.
For sure.
Keep us safe.
Yeah. And I've been working full time since the pandemic started in security. I was at Algonquin College, that's just over there in
Yeah.
Center Square,
Yeah.
and doing massage therapy. I just completed my second year, but due to COVID, I'm taking a year off from school. I'm going to just work in the hospitals, and then hopefully when the vaccination comes out, if the vaccination comes out, I'll be able to do my third year, because it's really hands-on in the third year massage therapy. Like, it's all clinic hours.
I mean, I feel like massage therapy hands-on is like, literally hands-on. Yeah, you can't just read about it.
Yeah, you can't just read about it or and get your teacher to be like, oh, is she on the malleolus? Is she making sure that texture of that muscle has changed? Like, it's like, how can you do that?
Actually, I remember at one point, weren't you asking for like volunteers for people that you could practice on? Man, I think I missed out on that.
Right now, I'm just doing, I'm just doing my coworkers. Now, I'm just massaging my coworkers, people that I come in contact with a lot, just so, you know, like, because we're supposed to have our top 10, so I kind of try to stay in that group if I give people massages, and definitely frontline workers. Frontline workers need massages. We need to relax. We are very stressed out. But everybody takes it differently. Like, I'm not in the face of COVID, so to speak. However, I am in the hospital. COVID's still around. It has dwindled, but it every day is different. But, like, I know this is going to come off as campy, but social distancing, wear those masks, wash your hands.
Hey, I have a mask. Gonna be with
I know, mine's gone.
Can't really hear me. The fuck?
Yes, JF is one of my top 10. I think I'm at 11 and a half now.
I made it. You gotta have boot somebody out.
That's it.
It's gonna be your sister.
Yeah.
No.
I love my twin.
Yeah, you have a twin?
I swear I love my twin. Yes, I have a twin sister. Her name's Jolene. She's my partner in crime, if you will.
Well, actually, sort of, business partner. Yeah. And how's that working with your twin sister? You guys, like, communicate?
In what regard?
Well, is it, like, easy, or do you butt heads sometimes? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and
her.
But
you can tell each other whatever, right?
Yeah, for sure.
There's no filter probably between sisters.
Yeah, there's no filter. However, we're very, like, oh, I can help you fix your problem. Oh, you can help me fix your problem, kind of thing. Because we're the same person yelling at each other. Oh, you just have to do this. And sometimes, like, coming into a relationship, any relationship, even with twins, with no expectations, is the best when we can just, like, hang out and not have preconceived notions how the day is supposed to go or how a show should go. Yeah. It should just, like, move smoothly, you know. And we're practicing that now, and we have a better relationship for it.
Nice.
Thanks.
How was it growing up with it? I don't know.
Okay. Growing up with a twin is like, we grew up more on the poor side. Okay. So let's say, imagine growing up with somebody that looks exactly like you, and you have to share every single thing, including baths.
I mean, my brother's 18 months older than me. Yeah. So he's 18 months older, so I got all his hand-me-downs.
Yeah. Even recognition, like, is shared. It's like, oh, you did great, but you know what I mean? Like, they
share the prize.
Yeah,
you have to
pretty
share
much. And when we did have our own friends or our own prizes and stuff, we got really territorial. So you know what? It is like growing up with a sibling that is pretty close in age. Just
but I mean, it must be different. Like a twin,
because you see yourself growing up. You know, nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like that. Like, we have different paths. Like, I always say that my twin sister is the Mariah Carey type, you know, like the diva. Okay. And I'm Linkin Park hard rocker, you know, hard rocker. Like, so every freaking, like, screamo band right now is screaming at me. like
Linkin Park.
Yeah. What? I'm such a millennial. Like, dude. Rest in peace, Chester.
Chester. Yeah.
Yes.
Peace. Growing up in Nova Scotia, how do you pronounce the name of your
Truro?
Truro?
Yeah, there's no CH, but it's T.
Truro.
Yes, it's Truro, Nova Scotia.
Nice.
It's a beautiful little town.
Yeah, I've driven by when I'm
everybody
going from
drives.
Moncton, Halifax. Gotta drive by Truro. I did stop by once for an interview at the agricultural college.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, so I got to take in a little bit of Truro scenery there. But,
I love the red clay.
Yeah?
I'm going back, actually.
Are you?
At the end of this month.
Are they letting you
Well, hopefully
fly,
the bubble
or?
is burst to the point where they're allowing people to go back. Like, I am a citizen of Nova Scotia, if you will.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm from New Brunswick, and if you have immediate family in New Brunswick, you can go, but then you still have to self-isolate at their home. Okay, this is a podcaster's nightmare, but the adapter for my external camera was being wonky, and then I realized when I got home and looked at the footage that the audio cut out completely midway through our recording, and Janelle Niles was gracious enough to meet with me again to film part 2 of this podcast, so just check it out. Thank you so much. So sorry for last week, fucking up the audio.
No worries.
But at least we got some lobster rolls out of it.
Yeah. And I got to straighten my
you.
hair this time.
Hey. No Steven Seagal.
No, feeling the colors of the wind up in here.
Nice.
Yeah.
How'd you like the Saint-Hubert lobster roll?
It was great.
Legit?
Yeah. It wasn't as fresh as like Nova Scotia.
Obviously.
I have to like rep down home, but
I know.
it was good. I just like, you know. I did like that seagull and that rat, just like fucking swallowed it whole.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it.
That's it.
So you're going back to Nova Scotia at the end of the month?
Mm-hmm. I'm going back for about 2 weeks and a day. I definitely need it because I've been working really hard during the pandemic.
Work through your birthday?
Yeah, work through my birthday.
Birthday weekend?
Just turned 33. What?
Hey, happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm an adult. I can eat Pop-Tarts if I want. So I'm going to Nova Scotia. But right now we're in a bubble, you know? So Newfoundland, Labrador, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia have all agreed, surprisingly, that anybody coming over from another province has to quarantine for 14 days.
So you're there for 14 days and a day. So you're going to have 1 day of freedom.
So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to get tested because I'm off for 3 days before.
Okay.
I'm going to get a test that Friday before I leave on Monday, and hopefully it will come back negative. It should, because I've been very safe.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll quarantine myself in my house and then wear my N95 before I take off to Nova Scotia onto the plane. And I'll have my test with me. I'll print it. So if anybody's like a little, sketch, I'll be like, hey, because I still want to be able to
What is
see
this,
my
communism?
family.
You have to show your papers to travel in the damn country?
Fascists.
I don't know. It's to be safe.
Yeah, for sure. And as a frontline worker, I have to kind of prove that I am safe in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be nice, though. Nova Scotia.
Mm-hmm. Old down home fish fries and some smelts out of the water. And get some fucking scallops that are like this big. I don't know what it is.
Digby scallops?
Yes. I don't know what it is about those fucking deep bay scallops. They're so like, unfortunately in sushi now they're like feeding them raw, and I'm like, I don't like raw scallops. I love raw all fish.
Except
scallops.
Really?
I like scallop cooked.
Just a little sear?
Yeah, just a little. Yes.
All right, so it turns out my laptop did not handle the Ottawa heat wave so well, and it fried during the recording of part 2 of this podcast. So I went out and got this Tascam audio recorder, and Janelle, being the saint that she is, agreed to meet with me one last time, hopefully to finalize this podcast. So fingers crossed. All right, third time's a charm.
For sure.
Hey, cheers.
Are we live?
We are live.
We're live. What?
Thank you so much again.
No problem. Thank you, JF, for having me up here.
Wow. How many sunburns are we going to get trying to record this thing?
3.
3-part series.
Yes.
This is the longest podcast ever. Eat your heart out, Joe Rogan. With your 3-hour podcast. We had like 4 hours of material.
For sure. I am the new Ari Shafir. God, I can listen to that guy all day. I love that guy.
You a fan?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I even went to Toronto to go see Ari Shafir.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. I literally took a 5-hour Greyhound bus to see him, and then immediately took a 5-hour Greyhound bus back.
The same night.
Yeah, because I had to go to work. Yeah.
God. I've done that once where I went to see a band in Toronto. I took the 5-hour Greyhound bus, and the bus broke down on the way there. And I finally made it, and I missed the show. And then I was just like, yep, well, I came here for nothing, so I just got drunk in a bar. And,
I can only imagine. I did get drunk. Oh, this is a story. Okay, so I totally forgot this happened. So I roll up in a taxi cab to the what do you call? It's like it's an old style concert hall.
in Toronto?
Yeah, in Toronto. It's an old style concert hall. I'm so sorry, I can't remember what it was called, but roll up in a taxi. I get out, and some girl's like, "It's you!" And I'm like, "I'm not that famous yet."
Hey, maybe some fans.
Who do you think I am? You know, who do you think I am? And I'm like, it's me. And she, what I found out was it was a girl trying to sneak into the show and pretend that she was my friend, to have some repertoire kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, who is he? And then the bouncer's all like, yeah, she's just been trying to sneak in all day. I'm like, oh, okay. So I go into the bar and I sit down and I'm just all like, that felt good though. You know? I was all like, oh, my ego. And so I'm sitting there and I'm one of those people who go see people alone, like Anthony Jeselnik or Bert Kreischer. I always go alone because it's really hard to cement somebody in to see a show when
I brought my wife to both Anthony Jeselnik and Bert Kreischer, and I mean it's not really her thing. Yeah. But it's like, I just buy 2 tickets and then I just take my wife to those things. But yeah, hey.
No, I hear you. I just don't want to get married and bring someone to show.
It's expensive having to buy two comedy tickets every show.
Really?
Gosh.
No. Yeah, so I sat there and I drank like 4 Jack and Cokes before the show because I'm from Nova Scotia, repping the East Coast, and we can talk to anybody. Like we have that like. What's that word I'm looking for? We just have it, we can talk to anybody. So I'm just talking to these 2 guys, and apparently they started they sat behind me when the show started, so we kind of we hit it off as fans of Ari Shaffir. And then I realized I was too drunk during this, and I could feel my self not. I'm like, no, it's Ari Shaffir. No, don't do that. And then
maybe that was Ari Shaffir drugging you like he did Bert Kreischer.
Sure.
No, okay, yeah.
But what I realized was, because when I'm a big fan of somebody like Ari Shaffir or Anthony Jeselnik, I watch every single thing they do. I watch all their interviews. I watch all their podcasts. I watch
all their appearances.
Exactly. Yeah, on daytime TV. And then when I was listening to his special live, I'm like, oh, I heard that joke. Oh, I know that joke. Oh, I know that joke. Oh, okay. Okay. I understand it now. I understand it.
Yeah.
So what a special is just a collaboration of all their best jokes in one. But you wouldn't know unless you followed them that closely. And then a couple years by, they do more of their jokes, and then they put it all together to make another special. So
yeah.
I kind of learned. Excuse me. That's how you do. That's how you do. And when you go touring, you're touring that material for that special.
Yeah.
So the people who've seen you on tour, if they watch your special, I heard him do that bit. Oh, I heard him do that joke.
Yeah, well, it's the same like Anthony Jeselnik fire in the maternity ward. It's basically like exactly what he did at the NEC. If you watch that special.
Yeah, I did. I was like, hey, I was there for when he did that on tour. Right? I love it.
I mean, there was a couple of things he did with the audience that was obviously different because that's different every show. But
do you remember that girl at the front? Okay.
Something about the eyeballs and how do you?
Don't finish my jokes. You think you see it coming? And he just ripped her out.
And then he's just like, that's how she got the first one, or that's how she lost her first eyeball.
Yeah.
And then she had something like, I'm a restaurant designer, and he's like, what restaurants have you done? And she couldn't name any. He's like, okay, well, okay, with that make-believe job and all.
This is what I do for a living. You're not going to win. I love it. I love that attitude.
Too obvious.
Like, sure. Yeah.
No, I love this crowd work, actually. He's so good. And he's so cocky, but he owns it, you know what I mean? Like, he just, goes on stage.
It's almost like a fake cockiness, because when you see him in certain interviews, he's like, kind of open.
For sure. It's a character. For sure it's a character, but he's on stage, he's like, I'm a god, and this fucking joke was perfect.
Yeah.
And, you know, they are. A lot of his jokes are.
I'm the best comedian you're ever going to hear.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah. That joke was amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Super serious about it, too.
I love it.
Yeah. No,
but it goes to our gallows humor, like fascination, you know? Love that dark humor.
Oh, he's dark, man. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I remember during the beginning of cancel culture in 2014, he was saying how he had to, like, cut everybody off of his social media, not have lots of social medias and stuff like that. And he had to also let people know that these are jokes. He none of them. It's like Tosh.0 too. He had this joke about his sister. That's not real. That's a joke, you know. And you have to separate the two. And what Anthony said was the difference between me and another comedian who gets in trouble is my jokes are all bad to people who.
Yeah.
My jokes offend everyone.
It's
Everything
true.
I say is offensive.
Yeah.
The broad scope. The people who get in trouble are the ones who put seriousness, then something crazy in between. And he's not knocking them. He's just like, in a way, like, as long as he keeps under the radar in that way, not have a huge social media presence, don't, you know, read to kids, he's fine, you know?
Well, it's true because people expect the worst from him, so I guess they're kind of used to it or desensitized. Like his, you know, all his crazy jokes.
His brand is known to his, you know, he's not going to lose fans because he said that he believes that his mother should have been on the plane in 9/11. I love that joke.
I know, right? It's so simple, too. It's like,
it's the simplest joke. And when I tell people about Anthony Jeselnik, I always refer to that one joke.
Right.
I'm like, he is so crazy. And can I tell you one of his jokes? And then
For me, it's his genius is the very last word or the last couple of words is the punchline. And if you change those last words, it just changes everything else.
Exactly.
And I think that's always this misdirection.
He picks them so perfectly.
Yeah, because he had one, it was like, my mother was really bad at breaking news. You know, I remember I came home from work one day and she said, Anthony, I have to tell you something. I'm having an affair, but you can't tell Dad. And he's like, why? Oh, because he just died. And it's like, this is that misdirection of like,
yes,
you know,
I love
right?
That one, yes.
And apparently his writing style, he says he would write at least 7 punchlines for every joke, like different. And the first couple were gonna be so obvious that anybody could have thought of them.
Yeah.
But by the time you get to the 7th, it's just you.
That's what he did with that girl, because he knew that people were going to already have the punchline in their head.
It's coming. That's the first one.
So what he did was he led the audience, and
Exactly.
he knew one woman.
Yeah.
One
Karen.
overweight, obese woman. With catty glasses. I was gonna say something. He looked in the crowd and he knew 25 minutes in it's gonna be her, and I'm gonna destroy her.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make her laugh.
Yeah.
I didn't think she heckled, but like she was like part of it, I guess.
No,
it felt like it felt like a dance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it didn't ruin the show. I was like, if you heard a black woman cackle and be clapping, and that was me in the front row. Okay, that was me.
You were that close.
Yeah.
So you were like, you could see her. Well, that was on the balcony.
I was 5 rows back in the front.
Yeah.
I was on that, you know, because of the NIC, they have the rows and then they have the side rows.
Yeah.
I was on that side row.
Okay.
I had all the feet room. Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, that was a great.
Again,
show.
I was alone.
Hey.
Talking to people behind me. Hey, how are you doing? You're a big fan? Me too.
I go to shows alone most of the time now, because if I go open mics, it's just like, you know, I have to put down the kids. I can't be like, you want to go together or whatever? No, I just fucking show up, whatever. And
someone has to be home watching the children.
Yeah.
And it can't
once
be
they're asleep,
Lola,
it's
your
like,
babysitter.
once they're asleep, they're fine.
That's it. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Put them in a little cage in a little in their crib. Cage? Did I say cage? I meant crib.
Crib.
Same thing.
Oh, that's hilarious.
The bars are high enough. It's a cage.
For sure.
Yeah, they can't fall out. Anyways.
I went to, it wasn't a comedy show, but it was a show for Jordan Peterson at Center Square, the same place Bert Kreischer went.
Oh, yeah?
And did his thing. So I went to, actually had friends come with me. I had two other friends come, and we looked like the people who were going to
like protest.
Yeah, because you know how I look, right? I'm full of tattoos. I got those big huge glasses, I'm very outspoken. And then my friend who's a trans woman went with me, and people think that, but she is obsessed with Jordan Peterson as much as I am.
Hey.
And her life has gone better too from his help books and whatever have you. So like I was like, everyone's staring at us, and I hate feeling like that. It's almost like it comes from a place of insecurity where you think people are staring at you, but I could read a room, and they're like, I'm like, I bought this ticket. I'm seeing fucking Jordan Peterson. And again, we were near the front.
You almost have to bring a sign that you actually I love him.
I'm an ally to Jordan JP. I'm an ally, don't hurt me. And it was great. Again, it's almost the same thing. I've heard everything he's already said because I've watched every single thing he's ever done. So I'm like, okay, I see. Yeah, I see how this works. Oh, yes. Food is here.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. Fish and chips were good.
Oh, my God. For sure.
Best clubhouse in the city. Chances are a restaurant in College Square.
Yeah, right beside Algonquin College.
Right beside the old people.
Yep.
Retirees.
Just about 300 meters away from my locker that I had in my first 2 years here at Algonquin College.
Oh, the memories.
Yeah.
Did you have a poster of, I don't know, Jonathan Taylor Thomas in there?
No.
No.
My posters were for like obscure Japanese pop stars from back in the day.
Or like K-pop or
no,
J-pop?
J-pop. It was like Malice Miser and Gakt and Haida and Hyde and just like singing songs I didn't know the words to. Like you knew the words, you knew how to say them phonetically, but you didn't know what they were saying. Like it's like Kimi no tamani tekiru koto, and you're like, I'm just gonna keep pretending I know what they're saying.
If it sounds good.
Yeah,
we have
a
friend whose daughter is 6 years old, and she can sing the theme song like Frozen, Let It Go, but in Japanese.
Oh, okay.
Like perfectly. She doesn't know she doesn't know any Japanese, but maybe she'll learn it just from singing it.
Yeah,
no?
I love that stuff. I love it when they redo it in a different language.
Yeah.
I don't know why Disney popped into my head, but I'm like, oh, I bet you like Tamatoa's song Shiny and Moana would sound pretty cool in Japanese.
Maybe.
Because I love that song because I love that egotistical, like narcissistic supply songs where he's just all like, it's all about me. And I'm like, yeah, sing it, baby. Flaunt what you got. I love
in the Japanese dubbed version.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
That could be cool.
For sure. Because they're so humble and reserved. I would love to hear that,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, come on in.
Come get these out of the way.
For sure.
Come on in. Thank you so much. This is great.
I'd like to finish on some dessert on the house.
Oh, sure.
On the house.
Hey.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
If it's our first sponsors. Yes. Dessert, chances
dessert
are
on
a
the
restaurant.
Ask what you're recording.
It's a podcast.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, we're giving a shout out to Chances Are Restaurant. Come on out. Best club in the city.
Yeah. I run a full Indigenous show called Got Land.
Even better.
Yeah.
Even better.
If you want this, you can have it.
I definitely do.
Yeah, I'll just.
Can I ask you?
Yeah, no worries. I'm just gonna slip it in really slowly. There you go.
100%.
Perfect.
I have a little bit of Indigenous blood in me,
Oh, there you
too.
go, girl.
Really key.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Cool.
And no, I think it's, especially right now, Indigenous people, they need to be lifted up. So.
And we need to be heard.
Absolutely. Thank you for giving Indigenous people an even stronger voice.
For sure. Thank you
Let's
so
talk
much.
dessert really, really quick. The apple crumble.
Ooh.
Got a beer mousse cake, cream pie, mocha ice cream cake.
I would like to be surprised.
Okay.
Apple crumble sounds good for me,
Yeah.
yeah.
Less surprised.
No.
First one, yeah. I'll be
Sweet.
surprised by that.
If it's
This
on the
is-
house, I would just want them to bring something.
It's true,
Oh my
yeah.
God,
Just
look
give
at
me
it.
whatever's gonna go
Oh,
bad.
please don't stop recording. This is an amazing moment.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Free stuff.
I remember there was
I don't
something.
know why. Why?
Why?
Why are they giving us free stuff?
Because we're giving them free.
Oh, free! Oh, sorry, I ruined it. No, sorry.
We're giving them free lap dances with
Free
our
lap
poles
dances.
here. Yes.
It looks like
I did it. I don't care.
You
It
have
has
experience
happened.
with
It's happened.
just like this, right?
Just with the two fingers.
The two
Sorry,
finger.
Chris. I just like
I will not set it up. You put
for sure.
Yes.
Oh man, you gotta keep it tight.
Micropenises unite.
Yeah, you gotta keep it tight for Mr. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Hey. Oh boy.
I love that.
Yeah. We were talking over lunch. You want to talk about Eddie Murphy Delirious?
Yes. So when I was a kid, we used to watch Eddie Murphy's Delirious. And we used to watch it so much. We would quote it. We would just like our Pocahontas VHS, we would bring it everywhere we went. We would listen to it all the time. And then because I grew up with it, when I was really young, really too young,
Yeah.
I thought I could show it to my cousins. And I'm 30 and they're 13. And I'm like, oh, you never seen Delirious? Not remembering.
Times are different.
Because I'm like, oh, if I was subjugated to this when I was younger, you can too. But I forgot about the language and the homophobia, everything else that came with it. Because in my mind, I just remember, I got the ice cream. You cannot get none. You cannot get none. Because you are on the welfare. You can't afford it. You can't afford it. And your daddy's an alcoholic. I got that's in my head, right? I had those bits in my head, not the oh, you got the on your lips. You're gonna can't I don't remember that part.
No, but it was
but and then so 15 minutes in, and she's not my cousin who's 13 is not into it at all. She's fucking on her phone watching it, and I'm like, oh, you're, and then but my eyes are wide every time. I'm like, oh, it's not that bad. I'm getting hit with the words never before. And then her dad walks in and is like, why are you watching Eddie Murphy Delirious with my daughter? I'm like, we watched it together. Yeah, but I would never show my daughter. So we had to turn it on. Guess what we watched?
What?
Moana.
Moana.
Yeah, and then she was watching
the Japanese version.
Yeah, Moana-kun. No.
See, you did. I feel like you did learn a little bit of Japanese.
Oh, I did.
At least the intonation.
I can introduce
fake,
myself. Yeah, I took 3 years of Japanese in Gloucester High School, and I went on the Japanese exchange program for 2 weeks. Yeah, thanks.
Konnichiwa. I don't know.
Konnichiwa. Yeah.
Actually, your pronunciation is proper. I think. It's almost like you have to exaggerate a bit. Because I learned Chinese because my.
That's so wrong. Sorry.
It's yeah. But it's as a white guy, I think I learned Chinese, and sometimes I would be like, oh, I don't want to sound like I'm making fun of them, but I have to almost exaggerate my pronunciation for them to understand me. So I was in China, and I would say wo bu shuo zong wan, and you have to say it a way that
because you want to phonetically say what you're trying to say without trying to add on that accent of the dialect of the region. Because if you say it's same thing in Japan, Japanese actually is way different than Mandarin or Cantonese or Chinese. But I understand what you mean. Definitely, kind of you have to over exaggerate just so they can understand that you're trying to say this word.
Because for them they have in different intonations, so you can be up, down. You can say the same word gao, gao, gao. It's all it means a dog or pretty or nine or whatever. So if you fuck it up, you have to really enunciate. And in English you can sort of mumble your way through words and it doesn't really matter.
When I went to Dublin, I realized that a traveler and a traveler are two different things.
Oh yeah?
I'm like, oh, I want to be a traveler. I want to travel on. They're like, do you want to be a traveler? I'm like, what's wrong with travel? Well, a traveler here is more like what you would call a gypsy. I'm like, oh shit. And I'm like,
you want to have a caravan and then
pretty
seal
much. You want to bring your family across, and you want to go cross border illegally. You want to, beg for money on the street. That's what they think traveler means.
Right.
And what we think traveler means, someone who's just Instagram, look at me. I got
live my best self.
Yes, look at the temple. I'm totally enlightened.
Isn't it so funny that Europe has like gypsy stereotypes like we just don't have here? Like I don't know, gypsy. Okay, that sounds cool. Like but there they actually hate gypsies some places.
Yeah, but it's like vagrants here, and vagrant is the politically correct term to talk about anybody who is a streetwalker, homeless, sometimes a junkie or whatever have you, and it's like a collective word. I know people don't like the word vagrant because it starts with a V and it ends with a grant. But I know the word doesn't taste well in people's mouth, but that is a politically correct term when I have to write my reports. And I can't say homeless because it's insinuating something.
Right.
So vagrant is the word.
Vagrant.
Yeah, vagrant. I know
Keep
people don't like it.
changing those
It's a V. But didn't a V for vendetta virtually like vindicate all the V words? Like
Vindicate virtually the V words, the victorious.
Yes. Delicious. Vindicators.
Valerian. Oh no, maybe it's like venereal disease. Maybe that's what people associate V's with. V for venereal. Virus.
HPV.
HPV. Put the venereal in the HPV.
Oh my god. It's almost like we're sounding like we're on a fucking your mom's house with Tom Segura.
I know, right? Going dark here.
I was talking about you when we were eating lunch, about how Tom Segura is not safe for like roommates, like because
no, not safe for work, not even safe from home when there are other people inside your home.
Like I'll be watching it, and I'll be watching Your Mom's House with Tom Segura and Christine Brzezinski and a guest, and all of a sudden. And what they do is they put the podcast low, but when they play a video, it's so loud, and they know what they're doing. Yeah. They're great. And then it would be like their friend who's in New York. I can't remember what his name is, but they have a soundbite of him coming.
Paulson, whatever his name is.
Something, Paul something.
Paulson,
RPH? No, RPC. RPC. Richard Paul Champagne. No, Robert Paul Champagne. Robert Paul Champagne. The beast, the master, the mystery, the legend.
The legend.
Yeah, it's Robert Paul Champagne. Yeah, and then like they play the sound. Ooh.
Right. Hey.
No worries.
All right, so there's the apple crumble there.
Yes.
I did bring an extra spoon and an extra fork in case you're trying to.
Oh, thank you so much.
Because it's cold.
Oh, perfect.
Hey,
that's
thanks
perfect.
so much. Appreciate it.
I got the ice cream.
Surprise.
I got the
Damn
ice
it.
cream. You cannot get none because we're in the corona.
No. I got a scoop of ice cream with some hot apple crumble. I'm kidding. I asked for it.
Yes, you did. This is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we paid with this with our livelihood. Yeah.
We made it. Look, Mom. Look, Mom, getting free shit now. I'm sold out.
It's a Panic at the Disco song. Like, look at Mom, we made it.
Oh, man.
But I'm like, okay, I'm going to be that one person who has like a costume room, who has a bird room, who has this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, but I remember telling you a couple times, I want to work in Nova Scotia with my family and on the reserve, and I want to be in Ottawa.
Well, you're planning on moving back eventually, yeah?
Yeah, for sure. But I'm gonna live in two places at once, kind of thing, because I don't want to be tied down, I guess.
Well, you want to be a traveler with your Gotland show across the country and the States,
Whoa,
so that
hitting
would be
the
so
States
dope.
is gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Like my mom believes she is from we all believe we're from. Our family did come from the States through the Underground Railroad. But my mom talks like she's fucking from Detroit, Michigan. And I'm like, I think I could fake it. I think I could make it when I'm down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Blacklish, the slang, the swang, the twang. I think I can do it. I think I can like settle right in there. Just have to make sure I glue my passport to my fucking like body. Because no matter where I leave my stuff, I'm just gonna be like free, like it's take what you want kind of country down there, you know.
No, okay. I'm not sure if actually this is part of the previous episodes, but the fact that if you are Indigenous and you have your status card, you can actually travel from Canada to U.S. freely and work, have a visa basically, or
Yeah, it's
don't
part
need a
of
visa.
our treaty rights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, take advantage of that.
Yeah, as long as you can prove when with a piece of paper from your reserve that you are 50% Indigenous or more, you have the right as an Indigenous person to travel, live, and work and get your social security number, all that beautiful stuff in the States. And I'm like, oh, I'll take it. Oh, yeah. Because at first I'm like, oh, I'm going to need to get a visa. I'm going to da-da-da-da. And then someone's all like, no, you don't. It's like, what? They're like, you're Indigenous. So I'm like, okay.
Well, I guess it makes sense because originally, I guess, the white man, set a line between the two. And it's not a line that was there before. So it's not like, there have been some nations that would have crossed completely over.
You know the line that I hate that they made? The one that goes from Maine, that goes all the way up and then back down. Like,
why can't we just have that?
Why can't we have Maine?
Yeah, just fucking give us Maine. Who cares?
Yeah, so we don't have to go through fucking Quebec. Like, just extend Ontario into Maine, and then Ontario can be closer to Nova Scotia.
It's true.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's probably in the history book somewhere.
Yeah, fuck.
Great Battle of Maine.
Just give us Maine, fuck.
For
I don't know, I'd be happy with like Louisiana. So my Cajun cousins down there.
See, when I was younger and I used to travel like across the Canada, I remember I had to have ice cream in every single province. And now I'm like, maybe I could like go on Tinder and find a guy for every single province. We'll find a or a girl. I know it doesn't matter. I'm just like, I'm older. I'm allowed to. I'm single. Let's flaunt it, right?
You can have your ice cream and
eat it too.
You can eat it too.
100%.
That creamy ice cream
I'll go
right there.
break people's hearts, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's good to have ambition. It's good to have goals in life,
What an ambition. Hey, man, it's a different time now. It's like women can do whatever the fuck we want. Yeah, if you say anyways, you're a fucking misogynistic asshole, and I will cancel you. I will destroy you.
I will destroy you. You can't take my sponsorship away. I'm eating my sponsorship right now.
Yeah.
If you're gonna take away my dessert, I'm gonna fucking
That reminds
scarf
me.
it now.
That reminds me of this one girl everybody was like obsessed with. When I was younger, like I had a lot of white girlfriends, a lot of friends that are white and a girl, and we're all grungy, right? Because they come from the streets, and they were all fascinated with Tank Girl. Do you know who Tank Girl is?
Tank Girl. No, doesn't ring a bell. Is this new? Is this like a internet culture recent?
Comic book.
Comic book. Okay, no, sorry.
No, it's okay. And she was like the Harley Quinn of comic books before Harley Quinn, and she was like a renegade, and she was her own self, and she was all fucked up and all that stuff. And I liked the stories and all that stuff, but I'm like, if she was real, she would just stink.
Was she?
Yeah, she wouldn't smell that good. I don't know why that's in my head, but maybe I'm just like turning into Howie Mandel, and I'm a fucking germaphobe.
Yeah.
And I'm just
live inside of a bubble.
Yeah, exactly. That would stink. Did you hear about the freaking Howie Mandel and Britney Spears controversy that's happening right now?
I saw something about Britney. It was like, why is Britney in the news right now? I just didn't click on it because I'm just so...
Free Britney!
I'm so over... Stop. Yeah.
Leave Britney alone. Yeah, apparently Britney is being held against her will in her conservatorship with her father.
What?
Because you don't know?
I really don't know. I didn't click on the link at all.
So...
Fill me in, please.
So back in 2005, Britney had her meltdown, you know, when she took the umbrella to that...
is that when she shaved her head? Is that long? That's like 15 years ago? Holy shit.
I know, it's so long ago. And Kevin Federline got the custody of the kids, and I'm all like, that piece of shit got custody of the kids? And then it almost cemented it in our heads. Well, then I guess that bitch must be crazy, because this jackass has come because he was basically trailer trash people,
He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that wanted custody of the kids.
That's what I'm saying. Like he it was like a Kid Rock wannabe, with like more rap and like sequiturs. But Britney's dad almost like has power of attorney over her and has like his hands netted in all of her finances and her ability to even leave the house, you know?
Really?
Like the only thing she has freedom over is her Instagram, so people know she's alive, and she's been sending hidden messages like, help me. And Free Britney was actually coming before Corona, and then people forgot about it, and then a guy was like, wear a yellow shirt if you need help. And then her next post on Instagram, she was wearing a yellow shirt, and then it blew up. And then Howie Mandel is doing the same thing. He's acting very strange. He looks like he needs help, like he's putting very little hidden messages in his Instagram. People might be reading into it, but they're saying like all these big celebrities cooped up in their house, they feel like some of them are there against their will. Well, everybody in Corona is almost there against their will, but in a different way.
Yeah.
You know, more like, we need to make money from you, so you stay there and we'll pull your strings.
We'll milk you dry for all
sure.
this fucking, oh God. Yeah, I mean, parents of child stars are fucking, there's some shady people out there.
For sure.
And who knows, you know, if my kids became famous, and I'd be like, just,
Thumbs up.
yes, excellent.
Fan,
Thanks so much.
Oh, it's so delicious.
No, I'm not even gonna go there with
No.
my kids.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be a totally shit. I'd probably be like, no, I'm kidding.
Someone at work actually said, oh, if you had a kid that was making you rich, you would abuse them too. I'm like, oh, whoa there, buddy. No.
I do believe in the notion of power corrupts and money corrupts.
Yeah.
You know, like, you don't know how shitty of a human being you would be if you were a multimillionaire.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we give like Justin Bieber a hard time for like buying a Lamborghini and doing fucking donuts in a parking lot, or buying a monkey. He's like, oh man, if I was 19 and a fucking almost a billionaire, I would have done so much worse.
Yeah, for sure. But there's no, Justin Bieber's mother took him for everything he got kind of thing.
Isn't his dad a piece of shit though?
Oh, his dad's a piece of shit, 100%.
No.
But she was a single mother on welfare, wasn't she? Or am I getting the story wrong?
I think so.
Oh, okay. One second, I'm going to just go balls deep in the strawberry.
Go all in.
And the strawberry is rich and succulent. Especially when it's free, baby. Me likey.
Does food taste better when it's free or when you really had to work
as
for it?
As a girl, yeah, because, you know, when people like buy you dinner all the time, it just tastes so much better. I was watching this YouTuber. Her name is I can't remember her name. I just know her name's NT, and she talks about the tea, and she talks about how one of her friends, one of her old roommates, actually would just go on Tinder dates lined up. Sorry, I thought that was thunder. I was like,
no, it was a big truck.
Boom, boom. Yeah,
boom.
This is getting really deep.
Special music
killed
effect.
them all.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
all dead. she would line up her Tinder
serial killer.
dates,
Ooh, yeah.
and then she would just get dinner every single day and just bring home the
Leftovers?
leftovers, and just
And
eat those.
that was it.
And she
No
didn't
need for
have a
groceries.
job, and she didn't do it, you know, she was just hot.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and I'm like, fucking bitch.
And she probably didn't have to fuck those guys. Just first dates and then just ghost them. That's
yeah,
it.
that's it.
Wow.
I know.
So many guys
My
that don't even
ex-boyfriend
know.
would never let me pay for, would never let me pay for his meal, or I always had to pay for my meal.
Okay.
And then sometimes I would just pay for both. And I'm like, now you have to pay for the next one, you know? And they'd be like, nope. But then he would, because he would feel bad.
Oh.
No,
But very going Dutch, very...
yeah, for sure. Have you? You probably
I've
don't.
met him.
Yeah, no, that's not what I was gonna say. It's like a weird dynamic now. Like
Is
a
it,
lot
though?
of my
Let's talk-
ex-boyfriends are talking to me right now,
Okay.
and I'm like, is it because of the publicity with me going into magazines and getting, you know, these gigs and whatever have you, or is it because it's Corona and they realized they lost this nice piece of ass?
They're
And
like, man,
oh,
I wish I would have been
shit."
quarantined with a piece of ass for 4 months.
For sure, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm glowing. thing, all right? Like, maybe you should have treated me better, you know?
How many people do you think are gonna break up after phase 3? They're just stuck together because they're like, well, this is like, getting laid. So.
Well, if we learned anything from the 1970s and divorce being finalized. Do you remember that back in the 1970s? Divorce was like
You weren't around either.
Yeah, but I read.
Okay.
Back in the 1970s. It was like the late 60s, early 70s when divorce was like normalized.
Right.
Tons of people got divorced. Tons.
Because they're all in toxic relationships and they weren't allowed to leave.
And when it was okay to do so, they all just ran for the fucking So I think that's the same thing. But I know a lot of people who dumped their boyfriends in March.
Oh, after like being stuck with them for like 2 weeks or a month?
Yeah.
You're like, that's it.
Yeah, I ended my relationship at the beginning of, I ended February, beginning of March.
Okay.
And it was like 2 weeks before quarantine hit. And I'm like, that's interesting.
Interesting timing.
Yeah, because then I'm like, I felt we were on some like rocky, some wet rocks, and like treacherous water around that time. I couldn't believe just like spending weeks and weeks and weeks at his house.
Did you know we were going to shut down by then?
No, I just knew that something was going on.
Okay.
I didn't dump him because of that. I dumped him
just because it wasn't working out with her.
Yeah, it wasn't working out.
Yeah.
Like, I was offering him love and he would go every single time, and I'm like, I can't. Like, dude, I'm trying to throw love in you. I'm like, oh, fucking grow up. I love him as a person, but like, dude, emotionally unavailable.
Man.
Yeah, but he's doing better in his life, I think.
Okay.
Just trying to overcome his feelings or whatever have you. Like, that's what do you call? That's like early 20s kind of like mentality with guys when they're like,
how old is he?
He's oh my god, I don't even fucking know how old he is. I do not know how old my ex-boyfriend is.
We don't have to name him. We just have
were
to.
You a minor?
This whole time?
It would make so much sense.
Yeah. Of course he's.
I only know the age of the guy I'm currently stipping. He's 30.
Old enough.
Yeah, friend with Benny's. What? God, that is the
In your
hardest
bubble?
conversation to have with somebody. Now,
Which one?
You're married, so I'd never have that conversation with you. But like, that's to have a contract
Fucking
of
cod block here.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Did someone just say inappropriate behind us?
Oh, baby.
Hilarious.
Oops, I'm wearing headphones. I can't hear myself. I don't know how loud I'm
But
talking.
it came from here, so I heard it. Inappropriate. What I was going to say was, it's the hardest conversation to have with somebody when you want to have a non-romantic, sexual, like physical, like animalistic relationship
with a good friend.
With a good friend.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't want to feel vulnerable again.
Right.
And I felt it was hindering my comedic. I was worrying too much of what it was going to. How was it going to affect him? Especially when we were both comedians.
Yeah.
And then I did that whole thing on YouTube. Like, I posted it to YouTube. Was at Wellington Eatery when I did a whole sketch about how good he is at going down, And I was like, this might just cemented the fact that it's like, he's a great guy, he can give you what you need. Women, if you need someone who can
men
help
too.
you out. Yeah, men too. Chris is definitely available. He will help you out. It's not something he was bad at. Not in the least. If I would have to say, yeah, Chris was still a good lover. Just not like a lover, like a traveler lover. No, he was just not in romantic sense, not so much. But physical, yeah, I would say.
Good to know.
Yeah, Georgia Silly, you can take that. You can just jump on that. I know you've been eyeballing Chris ever since the day you met him. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, so many plugs.
So many plugs. Yeah.
So many holes to be plugged. George has all of them. Chris too.
For sure. Everyone thought I was a lesbian and everybody thought Chris was gay. And then we met at Swizzles. It was
Well-
it was almost like to be at that time.
It was. I thought, I don't want to get too much into it if you don't want to, but
No,
I
that's
thought
okay.
you guys were a great couple. I thought it was like very fitting.
Me too.
And like, yeah.
Yeah. I
You
just,
seemed,
I
like,
guess
very
I'm
natural and it felt
Yeah.
like a good fit.
for sure. I did too. It was like we're 32. I'm 32. God, how old is he?
He's 17.
Yeah, he's
he's not. He can't drive yet.
Because we were around the same age. I think he was close to my age.
Yeah, maybe.
He never told me his birthday. He lied for the longest time. Only because he didn't lie per se. I would just guess and he would say no, and I was going to say, he and I just we were great together. We would it was almost like a playful kind of thing, but when it came down to that emotional entanglement, that's the word of the week, eh?
Entanglement.
It wasn't there.
No.
But that's the thing, right? It was 10 months. I was feeling, this can get really serious, and he wasn't there. And I'm like, I'm too old to play this
start
fucking
this over and over and
game.
yeah.
And I don't want an on and off thing. Like, if I'm not feeling it, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
Like, it was growing into something. Like, I begged to see his parents for a very long time. And
But you met his mom, right?
Yeah, after 9 months of begging, let me meet your freaking parents because I want this to be real. And and then finally we did, but then it was just things didn't change. Yeah, it's all good though. Like I said, he's a great lover. You can find
Great
him
friend
on
of the
his
show, Chris. I want you on.
Yes, Chris,
I want to
please.
hear your side of the story. I want you on this podcast.
For sure. Janelle's just a bitch. She's just a straight up cunt. But I love that cunt.
I literally love that
the cunt. Yeah, the cunt was great.
The cunt.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
for
man.
sure. She stole all my cards. No, I'm just
Was he into magic as well?
no. I'm just fucking. He's into Rubik's cubes.
Is he like really fast at doing them? Or what? Wow.
He would make me flowers all the time.
Oh. So romantic.
I'm like, pick up the Rubik's cube. Can you make me flowers? And he'd go there. I was like, aw, make me flowers. And they're so cute. Yeah.
Oh, you guys are such nerds.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I can't eat any more of that.
No,
It's
that's-
like melting.
It's melting.
Melting.
The Witch of the Wicked West. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
for sure. Like when it comes to comedy, though, if I can just whoosh,
Transition.
I feel like I have some jokes that will be masterpieces. You know what I mean? Like you have this, I can't wait to do this 15-minute bit about this, and this that goes together, and there's synergy, and it's just like pow, pow, pow. And I feel like I have a couple of them in me, and I want to get them out, but they have to come out broken up and then put together.
Yeah.
And I really want to explain about my ex-husband in a big 15, and broken up and leading into it. And maybe in 5 years when I watch this, I'm like, the seed was planted.
You spoke it into the universe
yes,
and it
and it
materialized.
happened. Yeah.
Well, you need 45 minutes to an hour if you're gonna do 15 minutes bits. Like a lot of those storytelling.
For sure. Yeah.
Which one was
Aim
it?
for the fucking moon, man.
I know.
Aim for the
I just
moon.
watched Hannibal Buress's latest special, Miami Night.
Oh, I have to watch that tonight too.
I think his last joke is 22 minutes long or something like that.
Oh, I love
it's just this long story.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can't do that in a fucking 5 or 6 minute open mic set. So you
It's
need to build your way up to that. And
100%.
Yeah.
That's why I said they have to come in broken up because we only get 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And then maybe at Yucks we get 8. Wait, that's a thing.
Oh.
Yucks. Thank you so much for hosting our photo shoot for this magazine. I'm not allowed to
Yes.
say until the fall when it comes out. Thank you so much. But have you signed up for the competition?
I did, yes.
Me too.
I did.
Yeah, I just did it the other day. I'm like,
Yeah, me
wait,
too.
did I do that?
I did it
No.
after Andrew
Yeah.
reminded me to
Yes,
sign up for it
for
during
sure.
the podcast.
I didn't sign up for it last year because I didn't think I was ready. But the people who just started comedy were
Oh yeah, I
throwing it
think
in there. I was
to
like,
me
I missed
now
it.
I just look at it as
Yeah.
stage time. If you get stage time, fuck it, whatever.
Oh,
Any gig, I'm not gonna say no to any gig right now.
I remember, what's his name? Matt Santos said that to me.
Yeah.
He's like, no matter what you get stage time wherever, if it's a competition or so have you, it's still stage time. Use it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Because I get weird when I'm like, oh, it's the diversity show. I have to be clean and everything. Boom, 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 boom. You know. And he's like, don't think about it that way. Even a good friend in comedy, Chris Boris, he said that too, where it's like, don't worry about having it like that. Just do your best material. Get up there. Don't like think too much about it, because that's what ruins comics.
Yeah.
You trip over your own words, you forget a line, then the rest of it is soured.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a know your audience, kind of learn to read the room and see who goes up, see what works for them and all that.
Carp did not like my Indigenous material.
No?
No.
Carp, who would have thought?
Thank you so much. Carp hated my Indigenous material, but when I get on so I was reading the room, right? I was like, okay, they're not eating anything
so
like that.
You have to switch gears.
Yeah, because like my opening joke was going to see if it would like land, and my opening joke was like, God, I have to stop dating white men. All they want to do is lay pipe. And it was right around the Dakota Access Pipeline thing. And
that's a good joke.
Thank
you.
Like it, yeah. Thank you. And I'm like, they didn't laugh. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to try another one. And then all the girls were eating, and all the guys were like, and I'm like, okay, I see. And then as soon as I'm like, all right, I just have to abandon my Indigenous material, I went straight into my black material, and then I got the laughs. And then, but because there's a lot of animosity with the Indigenous peoples and white people at that time butting heads.
Yeah.
They didn't want any of it.
Yeah.
But the black people were like, oh yeah, you go girl, yeah, fucking that. You say it. And I was like, all right, I'll do it, whatever. So yeah, you got to read your room, man. 100%.
But I mean, sometimes through comedy, you have to make people uncomfortable with certain
I am a cringe
topics.
comic sometimes. Like I'm a dark cringe. I want to be a dark cringe gallows.
No, yeah, but I mean,
like
not cringe, but like to have a message. Like if you want to talk about, not to make light of our history with the Indigenous people, but just to educate people in a fun, in a way that they can actually sort of laugh at it themselves. And
for sure.
Sure, like some people are gonna be like white guilt and all tensed up, but that's actually probably good for them.
Yeah. When I mean cringe, I mean like creating a tension that they are not comfortable with, and then releasing it.
That's the key. That's the key. If you can create that tension and then just release it at the right time.
Yeah, perfect.
Get them out.
Have an out.
Yeah.
Have an out of your. Yeah. And that's what I was talking about. I had a little Facebook moment when you're like, oh my God, I hate how things are done. It should be this way. And I'm like, punching down can be done tactfully, tastefully, and I can't remember the other word, but it can be done, and and it can be done well. And if you can do punching down well, it keeps hitting, and you can't laugh anymore, and your sides are sore, and you're on the floor. And I know Tom Segura does that really well, and who else? Joey Diaz. Like fucking just punching fucking down, and Sam Kinison was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam Kinison, and I don't think Bill Hicks punched. I think he just kind of spoke his opinions and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I love that. I love that punching down. Yeah, because it's a joke. It's like I don't believe starving African babies need to starve so they can all die. No, I'm just laughing at the fact that it's so absurd. You're laughing at the absurdity, and I love it.
Yeah. Do you think that I think I read that in the article. What was it in again? There was an article that you had an interview in based on the photo shoot or based on this sort of piece where you talk about how Indigenous people are funny because they had to, overcome the trauma and be funny through find humor in the situation.
Well,
humor is almost like a
tragedy and comedy
defense mechanism, right? To
100%.
deal with pain and hurt and.
Yeah, that's how Richard Pryor fucking exists. Excuse my language.
Hey, man, whatever.
Yeah, that's how Richard Pryor exists, because comedy came out of his tragedy. And that's how a lot of Indigenous comedians, we make fun of the stereotypes, we make fun of really deep-seated issues in such a way that you don't, as a white man, you don't feel so attacked. You do feel attacked, but you also feel on the same page.
Yeah.
And
hopefully you can learn something too.
It's all a learning experience for sure, 100%. Like I have a really bad joke. It's bad in the sense that it's hilarious, but it's not gonna fly. And it's like my hey.
Not gonna fly with an audience of 6-year-olds walking by.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh, should I say it? And then a child walks by. Yeah, it's actually one of my own RAPE jokes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's, I'll just say it because I'm not probably going to say it on stage in a long time.
This is not a stage, whatever.
No, I know, but you know what?
I know. I'm just saying you have all the right...
All right. It's like, I hate it when white women say that their great-great-great-great-great-grandmother was a Cherokee princess. Because never have I ever seen so many white women advocate for rape. So yeah, that's it. Like a big smile. Like,
I mean, it's
and I'm like, I love that joke because we're really annoyed that all these people are claiming Indigenous heritage when. How many frickin' Cherokee princesses do you think there was? Because that's everybody's frickin' line. That's
everybody's grandmother.
That's everybody's grandmother.
Yeah.
That's I'm a 1/16 Cherokee princess. I'm like, Cherokees aren't like all Indigenous people. We're not all Cherokees. You're not like, it's a Micmac princess. No one says Ojibwe princess. No one says that. It's always Cherokee because it flows off their tongue, and then they heard it on TV with crystals and sage and
Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah.
I'm 16th.
Yeah,
one of you people. It's like, what do you mean, you people?
Let's go to Coachella.
Wear headdress and then be like,
for sure.
The princess. I'm allowed.
And like headdresses on females is only being allowed today because women are allowed to become chiefs today.
Oh, okay.
But
So historically, they were
never... the headdress were for men and they were for warriors, and it was and for chiefs, and it was like a rite of passage. You had to earn that headdress.
Right, you couldn't just buy it
put it on. Yeah, exactly.
Etsy or somewhere.
Exactly, like you. It's almost like a religious symbol in a way, and people didn't see that with us. Like they kind of strip us away from our spirituality in that sense. Like when sorry, I'm going to get really deep right now.
Yeah.
Like let's say one of our people, because Indigenous people have a huge rate of suicide at this time.
Yeah.
Like when they're treating us with medications and whatever have you, that's not a bad thing because doctors are doctors for a reason. But the spiritual side is kind of like not there. And we have, at the time of when we're trying to kill ourselves, or let's say we got too far into the drink, or if we're just really depressed, we've lost our spirit. And if we don't have a healer there, it's really hard for us to gain our spirit back. And it's as simple as people think that sounds. It's really deep within our culture.
And you can't just,
you can't just trazodone it away, okay?
Yeah, you can't just say, magically a pill is going to magically bring it back or replace history with
For sure. Yeah. And you can't just laugh it away, and there are serious things. But like with comedy, we can make it more like, this is what's happening. And if you laugh with us, you'll also have an understanding with us. It's a collective thing. It's so.
Well, because we were talking about sort of collective trauma and like intergenerational trauma, and how it can come from.
Oh, it's in the blood.
It's in the blood,
it's in the
but
cells.
Eventually you want to sort of like break the cycle, and maybe humor is one of the ways you can start to heal. And
it's why I won't have kids.
No,
because I'm not going back to the baby mama project. I did my time. I did my time. I crawled out of the tunnel of shit and I came out clean. Okay, I'm not going back.
I ain't go back.
I ain't going back. They'll be like, well, why do you think that having kids will make you go back to the baby mama project? Because if I had kids, I'd go freaking insane. I would not be like. There's a history in our family, like a lot of women do not keep their boyfriends or husbands when they have kids. I know it's in me.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it's in me.
Know thyself.
I know thyself, and I'm not going back. Like I'll be the best auntie. I'll be the best auntie I can be. But mama, nah.
Cool aunt.
Yeah, I'm actually I'm actually what I want to do is have a comedian's corner. You know what I mean? Like a bounce around and have a house where comedian, like, instead of trying to put comedians up for the night at like a hotel and stuff, they would just come to comedian's corner where I'd like cook them dinner. I'd have my massage practice, like all the comedians come over. There would be like a little bar set up there. It would be almost like a business.
Yeah.
And then it would be comedian's corner, and I'd have like
Be like an Airbnb style
exactly.
thing. Whatever,
I would have rooms that they can rent, or like Yuck Yucks or Absolute can rent.
A lot of clubs in the States had that, as like a comedy
for sure.
room.
And it wasn't well done. Mitzi had one for the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
And I remember the comedians talking about it, how it was run down and there was bugs and no one was cleaning it. And I'm all like, I would live in it. And I would have it clean. I would have it, it would be like a working engine of comedy. You know what I mean? That'd be a great, like, if I won the lottery, I'd have it up in a second. It would be did.
Boom.
Yeah.
Spot for the first person.
I would have comedians working with me there, and you know what I mean? It'd be cool.
Yeah. Fuck. I hope you do
Comedian's
all
Corner.
that.
Don't steal my ideas. I know you're going for it.
Comedian's Corner is the new show, my new pop-up stand-up show we're doing on the corner of Somerset and Bank. Catch me randomly there.
With a pink glittery miniskirt.
Yes.
Pantyhose. Oh, we are taking pantyhose donations for JF's Comedian's
Corner.
Corner.
Pay the bills somehow.
That's it. If you got 3-inch pumps and the size 7.5. No, I didn't even look. I was just spitballing. Just playing, man. Just playing.
No, that's what the mask I wear when I go shopping now is just pantyhose over my head.
That's it.
What? Not robbing the place.
That's it. Not Robin Hooding the place.
Not Robin Hood.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So
I do hope you get your Gotland show across Canada touring. And I'm looking forward to all that for sure.
I have one question for you, though.
Yes.
I was thinking about it. I'm like, what got JF into comedy?
Depression.
Welcome to the real podcast. This is what it comes to. Depression?
No, depression I think was a trigger. Well, so I think we talked about last time. I've been battling depression for most of my adult life, probably half my life now, if I think about it. And I was never medicated for the longest time. I just started getting antidepressants in last December, so it's still pretty fresh, only like 6-7 months.
If you ask him anything, he will say yes.
I will say anything. Been going to therapy for years, different therapists and blah, blah, blah. I'm seeing a therapist right now. And at some point, I guess about 2 years ago when I started doing comedy, it was like I had always wanted to do comedy. But at that point, I was like so depressed and suicidal that I was just, fuck it, I'll just do it. I don't care anymore. And I was so afraid of doing comedy.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to do it. And then at that point, I was just like, kind of like, fuck it, who cares anymore? If it goes bad, I'll just kill myself.
You have nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. If I screw up my life so bad, I can just always kill myself. And then now I'm medicated, and I don't want to kill myself. So now I don't want to die, and I actually have to live with the consequences of my actions. So it's a bit trickier now. It's like, man, I miss that suicidal ideation in a way.
Yeah.
It was like just.
But if you are thinking of committing suicide, there are hotlines you can call.
There are hotlines. Don't do it.
Yes, and if you want to know if your friend actually wants to commit suicide, there is always this specific wording. If they have a plan, that's when you call the authorities.
Yeah, some people joke about it. I do have jokes about suicide and all that, and if people have plans, or if they start giving their stuff away,
if you
they
see
seem like very happy, some people get very relieved at the thought of like, oh, finally I'm going to do it. And when they have the plan set in stone, they actually become happier near the end.
And therapy is great. I never would knock therapy ever.
I'm in therapy.
It's changed my life. And that's why I'm a big fan of Jordan Peterson, because he's like my therapist from another mother. You know what I mean?
There you go.
I read a lot of his self-help books. And it changed the pattern of my thinking in like 2015 and onward. I don't listen.
Nope.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
good.
we'll take the bill actually.
Yeah,
probably good.
thank you.
Yeah, one. Yeah, thanks.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry.
I don't listen to him as much as I did before because like I am talking to my healer more.
Okay.
And like I've read 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos. And just like anything in life, I don't take everything that he says in stone.
Oh, for sure not.
You
Nobody's...
can't do that to every single person. Like I like even though I believe that Joe Rogan is our one true savior, you know, like, but I don't take every single thing he says in the stone.
Of course.
And I can just pick through the things that like the one thing that I have kept true is every single day make your fucking bed and don't judge the world until you have your life in order. And then I found out that's actually in the Bible, and I'm like, oh,
Hey,
fuck.
There's a lot of
Yeah, there's a lot of that stuff in the Bible and stuff. But I'm like, if I'm spiritual, I'm not like I grew up Baptist. But I left the church when I was 10 of my own accord.
Oh.
And then I thought I claimed myself as an atheist until 2013 when I usurped my Indigenous identity and became more spiritual with the creator and the creation story and just being more mindful of my actions. And then Jordan Peterson came along, and then more healing, more therapy, and I'm the best version of myself today than I ever was. So people can knock self-help books, people can knock all that stuff, but I feel I'm the best version I am than I ever been because of all the work I put into my mind.
Thanks so much.
And my health and my well-being.
And can you say real quick for the people at home, there are healers for Indigenous people services?
The healers you would find, they are licensed psychologists, but with Indigenous ingrained in the system. The Wabano Center down on Montreal Road, they have healers there. The Ottawa Center, I believe, also. You can, as an Indigenous person, you have the right to free therapy, and other people too have the right to free therapy, like through social services. However, it does take a long time to get on the list, but get yourself on that list.
Yeah. No, and I do acknowledge my privilege sometimes that not everybody has benefits, but if you do have benefits and you can afford a therapist, I highly recommend it. Just like a dentist, everybody should have a therapist. Get your mental health checked, you know? Yeah,
find your spirit. If your spirit is lost, find it. Yeah. I think I found my spirit, and I've been taken off ever since I found it, and I know who I am. And one of the biggest things you need to do if you have a mental illness is being aware of that mental illness, and trying to sit with your emotions and be more responsive than reactionary. I think that's what I was trying to say the other time. I had to sit with my words when I went home, and I'm like, that's what I meant. Be
sort
responsive.
Of like catch the emotions as they're rising without letting them take over you. And then, because
you don't want to be pulling scenes in public, you know? Like, I bet, look at me, look at this crazy, angry,
flipping tables,
freaking angry black woman, world star. You know, you don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That stuff follows you forever on YouTube. But then you could own it and be like, I'm that woman who flipped the table on the baby. You know? You ain't gonna forget about me. I'm table to Keisha, you know? Sorry, I don't fucking know. Oh, wow.
We've ended on such a positive note.
I know. Table to Keisha.
Flipping tables on babies. No, I'm kidding. The baby was on the table, and then you flipped the table.
It and crushed it afterward.
And somebody caught the baby. No, the
baby's fine. No, the baby. He's lying. We crushed it.
He caught the baby and like a touchdown, like slam it on the ground after he caught it.
It was white matter everywhere. I don't know what he's talking about. Punch down, bro.
Oh, yay.
Awesome.
The bones are bleached like in Nova Scotia when we found those moose bones. Fuck. We're so close having a positive enigma. But all seriousness, thank you so much for doing this 3-part documentary / podcast. World record longest podcast.
I'm going to end with Spirit Fingers.
Let's do it.
Spirit Fingers. All right. Thank you guys so much.
Yes, glitters in the post-production.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.